Okay guys, so I'm gonna have to be straight up, just totally honest with you for a second. I do not like tripods. They've always just been too heavy and too bulky, and they're really just kind of a pain to work with, you know, to extend the legs, and you gotta get them set up right, and they just have never worked for me, and I really have never wanted to carry one around before. But yes, babe, I'm trying to do a vlog here.
Well, what about this tripod?
What tripod is that?
It's the Peak Design travel tripod. You got it in the mail like a week ago.
Okay, well, what's so special about it?
Well, first of all, it's super lightweight and portable, and you always complain to me about how heavy your tripod is. It also has this pretty cool 360-degree ball head. Makes it super easy for you to move around your camera. And my favorite part, it sets up in a matter of seconds.
All right, let me see that thing. Huh. Pretty cool. Welcome back to the channel, Filmmaking Homies. It's your boy Cody Blue, and that's actually how I used to feel about tripods. You've probably noticed that I have never shown you guys a tripod in any one of my videos, and that's because I never really liked them. Either they were too heavy or too bulky, or they took too long to set up. But most importantly, I didn't want to be hiking around in the backcountry with a super heavy tripod. But then Peak Design reached out to me and they said, hey, we have this new tripod coming out. It's super lightweight and portable, and we think you'd enjoy it. So I figured I'd try it out, and what better way to test out a new tripod than by shooting some long exposure photography. This here is Emerald Bay. If you've watched some of my other videos, then chances are you already know about it. But what you probably didn't know is there's actually a pretty sweet waterfall here as well. And it's pretty loud, which explains the voiceover. But it's also a great place to shoot some long exposures, I think. I've never actually tried it, but hopefully we can get something cool. So we'll set up our tripod, which is super easy with the new Peak Design travel tripod. Hashtag sponsored. Then we'll attach our camera and frame our composition. For this shot, I'm also going to use an ND filter since it's still fairly bright outside. Now we're ready to start shooting. So first, I'll use a 2-second timer, that way my hands don't shake the tripod. Then as far as camera settings go, I'll be using smaller apertures like f11 to f16 so that I can use slower shutter speeds to blur the movement of the waterfall. At this location, it seems like a shutter speed anywhere from 1/4 to about 2 seconds seems to work pretty well. Of course, I'm also shooting at ISO 100. And that's about it. Now we just click the shutter button to take our photo. All right, so the first long exposure spot is done, and I think it turned out okay. It was pretty nice to get out and shoot some photos with a tripod because I haven't shot a long exposure photo in like forever. I don't know the last time that I did. But now we're at the second location. This spot is called Cave Rock, and we're gonna try to shoot another long exposure photo. So the plan here is to actually climb up onto the rock here and then shoot down towards this road and the lake, and we got some mountains back there, and I'm hoping I can shoot a long exposure shot of some cars driving down the road to where I can actually capture their headlights and taillights as they drive down the road. So obviously it's a little bit too bright for us to start shooting that right now. So while we wait, Victoria and I are gonna actually shoot some quote unquote selfies because I'm always taking photos of her and there's nobody ever taking photos of me, and we never really get any photos of us together. So I figured, since I have a tripod with me, I'll set it up, I'll use my smartphone to control the camera, and I'll be able to shoot a couple of photos of us up on the rock with a pretty cool view. So we'll do that, and then once it's a little bit darker, we will shoot some more long exposures. So we're gonna climb up and check it out. All right, to the top. Check out that view. Ooh! So this is where I'm hoping to shoot some long exposures here, but first we're gonna take a couple selfies. Alright, so welcome to Cave Rock. Just a short 10-minute hike from the car and you're on top of one of Tahoe's classic photography spots. The sun has finally set, the cars have their lights on, and Victoria and I are freezing. So let's hurry up and take this photo. First things first, I want to figure out how long it takes the cars to go down the road. So to get a rough estimate, I wait for a car and start counting. It seems to take about 30 seconds, which gives me a good starting place for my shutter speed. Then I'll make sure my ISO is set to 100 and adjust my aperture to give me a good exposure. In this case, an aperture of f/16 seems to look okay. Now, just like last time, we'll use a 2-second timer to take the photo. As it turns out, I actually underexposed this shot quite a bit. But thanks to the power of RAW, we can fix it right up. And now we've got a long exposure banger. Definitely Instagram worthy. Now let's get back to the office and close this one out. Alright guys, so that was a little real world shooting with the new Peak Design travel tripod. Now, if you want to know what I honestly think about it, overall, I think it's pretty awesome. Now, like I said, I'm not a big tripod shooter, and that's just because a lot of the stuff that I shoot doesn't really lend itself to carrying around a big heavy piece of gear. Now fortunately, the Peak Design travel tripod does seem to solve that issue for me, and I don't really mind carrying this tripod around. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys like I'm gonna bring this thing with me everywhere, because I'm definitely not. In a lot of cases, I'm gonna be riding my bike or my snowboard, or I'm gonna be like 12 miles deep in the wilderness, and I'm still not gonna wanna carry this thing. But when I know the location is gonna have something awesome like a waterfall or potentially a great Milky Way shot, I will be carrying this tripod with me, and I don't think I'll really mind it. So overall, I do think it's pretty cool, super lightweight, super sleek, has awesome build quality, and I would recommend it for you guys. Now I know some of you guys are gonna comment and you're gonna say, that tripod is expensive, and you're not wrong. It is definitely pricier than some of the other tripods, but I like to live by the buy nice or buy twice philosophy. Basically, buy a nice tripod once or buy a cheaper tripod and you'll probably end up buying another one. So yeah, I do think it's worth the price, even though it's a little bit pricier. Now, if I had to pick one thing that I don't like about this tripod, it's probably the ball head that it comes with. Unfortunately, you cannot pan or tilt with this ball head. So for those of you guys that shoot videos or panoramic photos, it may not be ideal, but fortunately Peak Design does offer a universal adapter that will let you use any other tripod head. So if you have a fluid head or a head that you already like, you can get the adapter and put it onto this tripod and still get the nice, lightweight and sleek package. But otherwise, I really don't have any complaints about this thing. I do think it's awesome, and I will be using it for future photography adventures. But that's pretty much all I had for you guys. So I just wanted to give a special thanks to Peak Design for sending this out to me. And yeah, I really like it and I'm gonna use it. But do me a favor, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you wanna see more. And if you have questions, send them to me on Instagram. But until next time, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
It also has this really super cool, easy to frick. It also has this pretty cool 360-degree ball head. Makes it super easy for you to move around your camera.
Perfect. Do it one more time.
Well, first of all, it's super lightweight and portable, and I know how much you hate carrying around a heavy... What is it?
Big heavy tripod.
Big heavy tripod.
Yes, babe. I'm trying to do a vlog here.
Well, what about this tripod?
Okay, hold on.
It's the Peak Design travel tripod. You got it in the mail like a week ago.
You f***ing killed it. That was super good. Yes, babe. I'm trying to do a vlog here.
Well, what about this tripod?
What tripod is that?
It's the Peak Design travel tripod. You got it in the mail like a week ago.
Well... Why are you so good? Every time I'm convinced. I'm like, damn, she mad.
All right, ready?
Okay.